Good evening, everyone. I hope we can start now. So, as we have proceeded further, now we are in week 4. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, we are in week 4 of the Joy of Computing using Python. This is the problem solving session. I am Vikas, a PhD scholar at IIT Jodhpur. Like we always start with my introduction. This is a brief overview about me. This is the video link that you are supposed to join every week, and this is the channel link. You can find the recording of this whole live session in this channel also. Moving further, let's start with question 1. Before that, if anyone is having any question related to this week, you can quickly ask, and then we can proceed further for questions. Anyone is having some question? Okay, so we'll move further directly. So the first question is, I expect you people to answer this. Just seeing it will not help you actually. What will be the output of the following code? The code is, we are importing a string. Import a string, as you have seen, is used to for some functions related to string. Then we are doing the import random. Random is for random numbers, random choice, and different other functions. And a equals to string dot escalator. Why are we putting this string dot? Can anyone explain? Hello, you people have attended the classes, right? Can anyone explain what is string dot? You can unmute yourself and say. Yes, please say. Okay, so let me explain. This string dot, since this ASCII underscore letter is from the library string, this is a library which we have imported. So we have to specify that this is actually not a keyword defined in our general Python library. So we are going for string dot ASCII letters. Then we are putting n equals to n input. So what is the function of this? This is to ask input, ask something from the user. Yeah, please say. Aditya? You were saying something?
No.
Oh. And I expect you people to answer. Just don't be dormant, okay? So, seeing this, can anyone think what is the answer for this? What should be the option? Anyone? It's fine, even if you are wrong, it's fine, not an issue. Please, anyone is free to answer. Okay, so let's try this in Google Colab as we always do. Okay? Yeah. So I am running this. See, import string. Actually, what is this doing? It is importing the string library. Import random is importing the random library. So we are getting the ASCII letters. What are the ASCII letters? A to Z in small letters, as well as A to Z in caps. Okay. So we are importing that because we will be using it. So A is equal to actually the whole letters starting from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like this till z, and then again capital A till z. Okay. Then n equals to int input. So it will ask for input from the user, from us. What it is doing then, for I in range n. N is the value we have given. So the value we give, it will look through that value. L equals to a empty list. In the list we will be putting the things later on. For j in range n. So we are actually, what we are doing is that here we will be creating a matrix. So n number of columns, n number of rows. So it will be a square matrix. Okay. So what we are doing, L dot append random dot choice A. Random dot choice. What does this do?
So it will take the random items from A and append
Yes.
it to L.
Very good. So as we have seen, random dot choice is to select random choices, random values, and append is a function for list. Since L is a list, we are appending, so putting something at the end. For elements in L, print element end equals to backslash E. What is this? Can anyone remember this? I have already explained. Yes.
Tab spacing, sir.
Yeah, tabbed space. So it will create a space, and then we are printing. We are printing a new line here. If we just put a print without anything, since it has default, default as end equals to backslash n, so it is printing a new line here. So if we run this, actually it will take some random letters. Suppose I am trying to put 5. Okay. So you see, it is creating a 5 by 5 square matrix, and it is printing random. Again, if we run it, since it is a random function, it will give you different output.
Can you once explain the function of import string?
Input to string. I'm not. There is a noise from your background. Can you repeat it?
Can you explain the function import string?
Input string.
Import string.
This one, the line 6.
First line.
First line. Okay. This, see, string is a library. This string is a library. Library means, the Python, if we run at once, Python have a lot of functions. But if we keep all the functions in one single software, what will happen? It will become very bulky. So every time you will run a Python program, it will be very, very heavy to run it. Okay, it will take a lot of time since it will have to load everything. So what is done? The basic library, that is the basic things which are commonly used, okay, are kept in the basic library. So we don't have to put anything for that. Okay, like print, input, int, float, these things are already in the general library. But when you have to use something special, like here we are going to use ASCII letters, like this whole thing. Okay, this thing is not defined in our general library. So we are going to import this string library. What this does is that it enables us to use this ASCII letters function. Okay, got it? Similarly, random is used for like random.choice, random.randint. So choice, randint, these functions are defined inside random. This ASCII letters is defined inside the string library. So this is when we are saying import, so we are taking that. So when this program will run along with the general library, the string will also be loaded, string library. You got it, Sresi?
Yes.
Okay. And Karubagari, if you are not speaking something, you can keep your mic off.
Sir, I want to ask a question.
Yeah, please say.
Sir, whenever the programming assignment is asked, so we are doing the program, and sometimes it is passing the public test cases after the ignoring the presentation error.
Error. Yeah.
How to avoid the presentation error? Is it necessary to avoid the presentation error? If
It's
it
not necessary. We have already discussed this in a previous class. I think you missed that.
sorry,
Yeah. The thing is that presentation error is something like how it will look like in an output. Okay. So that is being ignored by our compiler. But when you are going for programming, actually the best practice is try having a good presentation also, because that is something that makes your program look better. But that is not a compulsion. The same program like you see here, if there were no spaces in this case, in this matrix, still it would have worked, but it would not have looked good. It would have looked jumbled. It would not have been clear. So that is the presentation error there. It is. Okay?
okay, okay, thank you.
Okay. So, so what will be the answer for this? Can anyone tell?
So B.
B. Magic square of size n. So we are putting size n and we are getting a square matrix. Square matrix which is having n number of rows and number of columns. Okay. So okay. Now this is something which you people have to think and come up with. We have to write a code to display whether the entered number is a leap year or not. Okay. So can anyone tell me the logic of leap year?
The year should be divisible by 4.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
all the numbers divisible by 4 is leap year. Centuries are not leap year. So
Okay.
we have to find whether the year is divisible by 4 and not by 100 or
That is
Yeah. Actually, it is simply, in simple words, we can say, if it is divisible by 400, it will work. Okay? Yes. Fine. So, can anyone tell what it will look like? How we will do the program? What will be the first step in our program?
read the year. Let's get the input.
Read the year. So, first step we will do, read the year. And how will we read the year? Please, one person speak at a time. Yeah, please. So first we will read the year. How will we read the year? Using an input function, right? Then what will be the next step?
Use if condition.
Use if
Year,
condition.
year divisible by 400 or
Yes.
year divisible by 4. If
Or-
it is possible,
Hmm.
if
Or-
it is possible, the year is leap year. Otherwise, else part will execute.
Okay, good. So let's try doing this program. Yeah, Sainath, your sound is coming back. Yeah. There is some echo. You can rejoin if you are trying to say something. So let's try seeing this. Okay, how the program looks like. I have tried something. If you people think, and one more thing which we already have discussed earlier also, that we should try to use comments. What are these comments? Comments makes it good to read the program. Suppose you go to see the program after 5 years, 10 years or something like that, you are able to understand the program better, or someone else can also understand your program better. So it's always good to use codes. Good to use comments, not codes. Sorry. So instead of doing the general program, what I have done is that I have created a function called leap year. Okay, and as you have said, I am, instead of asking an input, our main program starts from here, line 9 and 10, right? So what I am doing is that I am asking for input enter year. Okay. Then I am entering into the function to check the leap year. So what we are doing is that, as you people have said, yeah, someone have suggestion here? Any suggestion? Hello?
So centuries will be, if it is 1600, it will be considered as a leap year.
Yeah, 1600 will be considered as a leap year. Yes.
But it is not a leap year.
1600 is not a leap year.
It is a century.
See, all the centuries are, it is not necessary that the centuries cannot be a leap year. A century, if it is divided by 400, is considered to be a leap year. That is the basic definition. Let's try searching it, okay? Let's see, yeah, what is the definition of a leap year? Okay. Let's see the first thing itself, okay? To be a leap year, the year must be divisible by 4 except for end of the century years, which must be divisible by 400. That is the general rule, okay? So that's why we are going for 400 as well as 4, okay? Okay. So see, there are two ways. Either I would have put this whole thing inside just after this whole thing, definition leap year, this function thing, or I have put it in leap year. So let's try some years. Okay, like let's try with 2022. Okay, you see, it's not a leap year. So can you remember some leap years? Can anyone tell a leap year which you remember?
2020.
2020. Okay, let's try 2020. It's a leap year. Okay. Any other like, let me ask Aditya. Yes. Aditya. Okay, Bharat 2016. Okay, let's try 2016. Okay. So it's working fine. And if some non-leap year, let's try something like 1995. It is not a leap. So it's fine. Okay. So our code is done. Let's move to next question. Okay. So this is right. Fine. Let's move to our next question. What is this code doing? This is a bit big code, but don't be scared of it. Okay. So what? Let's first discuss what is this program. Then we will go to answers. Okay. So yes, Tulsi. Hello. Yes, Tulsi. Are you trying to say something? Okay. If you are not trying to say something, you can keep yourself on mute. Or if you are not audible, you can put your query in the chat. I can see that. Your sound is not coming through. You can put your query in the chat. Hello, Tulsi, your sound is not coming through. It is actually creating noise. You can put yourself in mute and put your query in the chat. Okay. So, okay. Don't worry, Apurva. All these slides are available to you. You can, as I think I have shown you. Yeah. you see here. Uh, Here there is a classroom invitation code, this one. You can note this down. I put the slides there also, as well as in the classroom, in the NPTEL page, you will see at the bottom there is something called live lectures. There you can see all like all the links to the slides are given. You will get all the slides, so don't worry about that. Just try to follow with me. Okay, is it fine? But yes, you should be solving it. Okay, so let's come to this question. We have two lists, L1 and L2. L1 is having some movie names like Harry Potter, Matrix, Spider-Man, Avengers, John Wick. Okay, then L2 have some again movie names, Drishyam, Spider-Man, Bahubali, Doom, Race, Matrix, something. You see here, in first case, we have mostly in English movies or Hollywood movies, and here we have a mixed set of movies. Okay, mixed list, sorry, not set, mixed list, and here English movies list. Then we are creating another list, L. L is, since it has a empty square bracket, what it is doing? It is creating an empty list. Okay, creating empty list. Now, for I in range, length L1, we are calculating the length of L1. We are not giving it fixed. We are just saying length of L1, and we are creating a flag. This is just a variable having some value like 0. Here in this case, we are keeping it 0. Then again, we are starting another loop for j in range L2. Okay, if L1I, that means this element, like suppose we are going with the first 0th element, so it is comparing first element of this with all the elements of the second list one by one, because it is inside a loop. If it is equal, it is changing the flag to 1 and breaking. So can anyone tell me what is this breaking? Break. Am I audible?
Sir, stops the if condition. I mean the for loop.
Yeah. So if this is matched, it
Out
will,
of the loop.
yes, it will come out of the loop. Okay. And what it will, so if it comes out of the loop, means it will just skip all the things, and what it will do, it will go here. If flag double equals to 0, L dot append. So if it is not matched, okay, if it is not matched, means this flag never goes to 1. If it is not done, then in that case, that movie's name will be stored in this list L. Otherwise, if it is matching, it will not be stored. So can anyone tell what will be the correct answer then? Print unique movies of list L1, print unique movies of list L2, print common movies of L1, L2, or shows an error. What will be the correct answer for this case?
Option C.
Option C.
So maybe A.
A.
Because
Okay.
it will append the L1
Think so.
item in L1 in L.
See,
Maybe A is the I say.
see here the things are like
It's
just,
A.
yes, correct, it is A. But just by changing one single thing, we can make it to something like C. Okay, instead of 0, if we put 1, it will print the common thing, right? So you see, this whole program can be changed. The whole purpose of the program can be changed by changing one single number. We will see how it is being done. Okay. So we have this program. Okay. So you see here, it is doing as we have seen. Okay. It has got this. See, it is putting the uncommon, unique things, like Harry Potter is not there in L2, Avengers is not there in L2, and John Wick is not there in L2. Now, if we make it 1, let's see what happens. Okay. See, now in this case, it is doing exactly the opposite. It is giving us the common thing, like Matrix and Spider-Man. They are there in both the list. Okay. So just by changing one single thing, you can change the essence of this program. Okay. Got it? Okay. So what will be the correct answer then? Print unique movies of list L1. Okay. Now let's go to a similar question. Okay. And here you will see some extra things also. Okay. Like what will be the output of the following code? Yeah. Yes, yes, Neetu, are you saying something? Hello? Yeah. So let's evaluate this question now.
Sir,
Yes, yes.
the previous program, why we used flag 0, sir?
See,
Previous program.
flag is generally something like what is the purpose of flag? If you are, you might have seen in case of like railway guard or even in sports, we see that different colored flags are generally used to denote something, right? So in programming, generally there is a concept that a flag is used to represent, like a flag 0 is like something to represent false, and flag 1 is used to represent true. Okay. So what in that case it was doing is that, you see here in this case, this flag 0, if I take, see, it is like this, a flag. Okay. So flag 0 is something like, it is 0 we are using to denote mismatch. Okay. And as soon as it is matching, okay, what we are doing is that we are making the flag as red, and we are saying, okay, we got the match. Okay. Like that is correct one. So we are saying it as match. Okay. You can even put it something else, like here flag equals to, you might have put something like mismatch and match. Still it will work, but it will make the code a bit like complex. Why to make it complex when you can work with 0 and 1 or true and false? You could have written here false, capital, like in this case true, capital true. So this is also fine, and in this case you should have written false. It would have worked. It is fine. It is just an indication, and just, in that case you will then match it with the same thing. Like if you are writing match and mismatch, so here you will write mismatch or match. Okay, got it?
So flag 0 means mismatch and flag 1 means match.
Yeah, and this is something we are defining. It is not a fixed thing. It is not something defined in the dictionary of coding or in the like in some books or anywhere. It is simply something that we are defining for our program. Okay, you can take anything if you want, and you can even do the same program using some other method. It is fine.
So this is true for this program.
Yes, in this case it is like in this case we are using it like this. Got it, Sridevi? Yeah, really. You can write anything. You can write count. You can write anything. But the only difference, only thing what we do is that as a good programming practice, it is always advised to go for some meaningful words. Okay, like instead of instead of many a place we use num1, num2, or you see here in this case list1, L1 is used, L2 is, you could have used A, B, C like that also. But having a meaningful word makes it easier for us to understand. Just seeing here, you can understand it is flag used to denote anywhere. Otherwise, what you can do is that you can put a comment here also, used to denote mismatch, used to denote match. Okay. Now let's move on to this question. Like we are going for import random. We have seen a lot of places import random is there. Then L equals to Harry Potter, Karate Kid, Matrix, Spider-Man, Avengers, John Wick. Okay, we have put again a lot of movies, and what we are doing here is movie random.choice. So what is this doing?
Choose some movie.
It is taking random items
Random
from
items.
list L.
Yes, very good out there. So one thing it is picking up, okay, and it is putting there. Fine. Now what we have to see is that what it is doing next for character in movie. So see here we could have written I, something like I, J, K, anything. But here writing character makes it more meaningful. Okay, using meaningful names in Python, since there is no limit like in some earlier programming languages when it was not that evolved. You might see something like there was a limit of using the name of 8 letters only. You cannot use more than that, or 3 letters, something like that. Okay, here there is no limit. So you can use meaningful words, but don't make it too big to be too difficult to rewrite. Okay. So what we are doing, if character in movie. So suppose a movie is taken. Let me clear this. Okay. Suppose the movie Matrix is chosen. Okay, Matrix is chosen. So what will be the characters in Matrix?
The NPTEL, I guess.
Yeah. So when we are running this for loop, one by one, first M will be given, then A, then T. So the value of character will assume this first M, then it will run the loop, run this whole loop, and then again it will assume that value A, then run the whole loop like that. Okay. And what it will do is that it will check if character is equals to small a, or character is equal to capital A, count plus equals to 1. Are you clear with this? Count plus equals to 1. What does this do? Anyone have any confusion regarding this?
I don't understand this concept.
Yeah. Aditya, what you are saying?
So what does the statement count plus equal 1?
Yeah. See, some Bharat have actually given the correct answer. See, it is a shortcut for writing like count equals to count plus 1. Okay. So instead of writing count 2 times, it is shortcut like what we can write count plus equals to 1. Similarly, we can even use this symbol minus equals to, multiply equals to, and divide equals to. Okay, all these have something like it will add that value to itself, or subtract that value from itself. For such purposes, this count plus equals to is used. Clear, Aditya?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and one more thing which is I think new to you, this word elif. Anyone have idea of elif? You have read if, you have read else, and what is elif? Yes, good. Else if. Right? So elif is like we are generally writing if. Wait, let me clear this. What we generally do is that we write if some condition, then some statement, then we write else, and suppose we have to check another condition, then we write again if inside it, then condition, then something, okay, then again else. So to avoid such things like many stages of if else, it is a simpler way if we have more than one condition.
It's short in the code, like else if, we can write else.
Yeah, instead of else and then putting another if, we can directly write else. Okay, so this is something that works exactly like this, exactly like if. And in Python, one very interesting thing is that a if can exist without an else, but in many codes, an if cannot exist without an else. Okay, so here you can see if, elif, and at last in general it should be else, but that default condition is not used here. Okay, so from the program now, can anyone tell what it is doing? One by
So it is doing, so it is taking a number of vowels in the movie and the name of the movie. After
Good.
giving this code,
C.
Yeah.
So C.
Yes, C, good. So it is checking the number of vowels inside the character. So first it is taking a random value from here, from this list, and then it is checking. So let's try running this code also. Okay. Same code, right? So let's run this. Say it is taking Karate Kid. Let's try something else. Harry Potter. Here A, C, A, O, and E, 3 characters, and the the movie name itself. John Wick. Here O and I, 2. Okay. So randomly taking from this list and counting the number of vowels. Fine. So we are correct in this case. Now let's move to our next question. Question 5. Okay. What will be the output of the following code? Very small code. I expect the answer in just a minute. Yes. Can anyone tell?
Sir, what does I into means?
See, yeah. This even professor have explained this in the one of the lectures. This is used like you people have if you are using calculators, you see square like this, but when we are writing something in like a single line, we cannot go up. Okay, so the general form is A like this, but in case of Python, it is double star. Double star means it is raised to the power. Okay.
It means this is I square.
Yeah, it means I square, but mathematically we denote it like this. So yeah, someone says A, someone says D. Okay, let me ask someone. Those who have the answer A, be ready with your explanation. Yeah. Ritika. Yeah.
So we have to find the square roots. So here the number is given 5 and 20. in range, and when it is divisible by 5, output will be 0, and when we square it, it will give the output.
How output is 0?
Sir, whenever we put a number, any number which is divisible by divided by 5,
Okay.
output will be when output will be 0.
Yeah,
It will,
in this case it will be true. We don't say
yes.
0. Yes, this condition will be true. Yes. Then what is being done?
Then after when the condition is true, it will go further, and it will be it will give a square root.
It is not square root. It is square.
Sorry, it will give a square number.
Okay. So this created the confusion. Okay, not an issue. Okay, this double star is used not for square root, for square. Okay, so the first thing, that is square root, this gets like removed here only, right?
Yes, sir.
Only squares will be printed.
But you see here it will not get find out with square roots between this is actually also looking right, because it is saying in the opposite way, right, with square roots between 5 to 20 and divisible by 5. Okay, and someone says D. Okay, like let me ask Davendra Bedi. Yeah, can you explain why D, why not A? They look very similar. Davendra, are you there? Yes.
Sir, for the values of I, we will take from 5 to 19. So the option B finds more making sense to me.
Yes. So we just have to remember that when we are using this range function, this is a very common mistake we generally do, that it starts from this value but ends 1 less than this. Okay. So it will not go till 20, it will stop at 19 only. Okay. So everyone is clear regarding this? Those who were thinking it as A, why is it not A and D? Yes, Guru Ranjan, please say.
It is not equal because it is staying between 5 to 20. But but the range is from 5 to 19. Because like 20, because the range gets n minus 1. 5.
Yeah, we have discussed earlier also, range goes like this, range, and then in bracket we say start position and then comma stop position.
N minus.
Yeah, stop position plus 1. Generally, if you have to go till 100, you will put 100 plus 1. Okay, like this. And then we have other options like increment, and then different options are there. Okay, so the answer will be D. Let's check this. Yeah, Satyanarayan, are you saying something?
Sir, actually, see, if you see the option, square roots they are saying. Why square roots? Because it is square of only it is giving,
Yes, but see the language. Here it is purposefully put to confuse you.
All perfect squares with square roots between 5 and 19.
5 and 19.
It will not get square roots. The only square will come.
Yeah.
Why that square roots, sir? That is where I got confused.
Okay, yes, this has purposefully been given to confuse you. That it is saying perfect squares with square roots. So if you say 25, this is the square of 5. Okay, but what is the square root of 25?
So 5.
5. So it is saying the opposite way, that we will get the numbers which are actually which are perfect squares as well as square root of some number between 5 and 19. Okay, so we are ideally it is like 5, 10, 15. Okay, these numbers will be used in this range and their square will be given. So 25 and 100, 225, right? Something like this. So with their square root in the range 5 to 19. Is it clear, Satyanarayan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that has purposefully been given to confuse. Okay, let's try this. So certainly you see already some output is given here, right? 2500 and 225. If we change the value, like instead of this, if we wanted till 20, what should be done?
5 to 21, so 5,
5 to
21.
21. Yeah, so we should write here, instead of this, we should write here 21. Right. Done. So in this case, it will give 400 also, right? Let's move to next question. So the answer is B. Create a code to generate all prime numbers between 0 and 100. So what are the conditions for prime numbers?
Divisible by
Only divided by
itself and the number.
1.
It's
It's only divisible by 1 and itself.
1 and itself. So divisible by 1 and itself. So can anyone suggest how it will be done? What will be the way to do it?
Sir, for I in range 0 to 101, if I mod equals to 0, or I mod equals to 0.
I mod with what?
I mod 1
I mod 1.
equals to 0.
It is always
Or-
equal to 0. For any number, I mod 1 is 0.
Or I mod I equals to 0.
I mod
I
I equals to 0. So these two
For
conditions
every
are,
number, this is also true.
yeah, this is true
is
for,
true for every
yeah,
number.
yeah, these
So
two
we should
conditions.
write here that if
Hmm.
the I mod and some I mod and so like some other number 2 is not equal to 0, then it's a prime number. So maybe so like that.
Okay. Any other suggestion?
Sir, we have to fix the divisor from 2 to n minus 1, sir.
2 to n minus 1. Okay, good.
Or we can also go for square root of n if we want to optimize the code.
Ankita, there are more prime numbers also. 2, 3 and 5 are not the end of prime numbers. See, what I can take out is that if we try dividing that number for all the numbers with all the numbers starting from 2 till the number itself, if it is divisible by any other number, it should give us a non-prime number. If it is not divisible, here also we can use something like flag. Okay, flag is used to denote that it is flag 0 means I will say composite number. Okay, and flag once it is prime, I will make it as 1. Okay, so let's try this. What I have done, and you people can suggest something better also. I am ready to try that also. Okay, see, what I am doing is that for I in range 2 to 101, why 2? Because the starting point 1 is already defined as it is neither prime nor composite. Let's not confuse our computer with that. Okay. Yes, Ritika, count plus equals to, I didn't get what you are saying. You are not able to understand that, or what is the issue? Hello, Ritika? Okay, we will move further. Avi. So, yes, please say. Yes, Ritika, you have some query? Fine. So, we are starting from 2 and going till 100. So, we have to go till 100. That is why we are putting 101. Okay, remember, it should be one more than that number. I am taking the flag equals to 0. By default, I am considering it to be, sorry, I am putting 0 as prime. Okay, I said 1. Here I am taking it as 0. So, I am considering it to be prime by default. Okay, and then I am checking if it is divisible by any other number. I will stop there itself. Okay, so for j in range 2 to I, so it will go 1 less than the number itself. We know 1 is always a factor and the number itself is a factor. So I am leaving those two. So I am starting with 2 and going till 1 less than that. So 1 less than that, for that we can directly write the number I and it will automatically be taken as 1 less than that. Okay. So now I am checking its divisibility 1 by 1. So this loop will increase as we start, like as we go further in this loop. This loop will keep on growing. First it was smaller, like for smaller numbers it will be very fast. Gradually it will keep on increasing. And if I am getting the flag as 1, that means composite number, I am doing nothing. If I am getting 0, like it is being reset as 0 again, I am printing the number itself. Is it clear, or do you have some confusion in this? So it is all the numbers till here. Okay, see what is happening here is that we are starting from number 2. Why 2? Because 2 is like 1 we cannot take. 1 is, we already know by default that 1 is neither prime nor composite. We don't want to confuse. Okay, so we are starting with 2 and we want to go till 100. So we will put 1 more than that. So here we have put 101. Putting 101, so we have a loop. So for every number I am resetting the flag to 0. That means I am considering at first that the number is actually a prime number. Let's suppose it is a prime number, then we will disprove it. Okay, we are going by this. So we are trying this technique by like first assuming true and then disproving. So for j in range, j, like we are generating j in range 2 to I. So 2 to I, that means again here we are starting with 2. Since 1 is the factor of every number, we are starting with 2 and going till 1 less than the number. Okay, that is when we are putting I, it will go 1 less than the number. If so, it is checking only one condition. If that number is divisible by numbers like starting from 2 till 1 less than that number, any number if it is divisible by, then we are making the flag as 1 and breaking. There itself we know, even one factor we find, we know. So we stop and we break it. Then we go to the next step, that is flag. If the flag was 1, we don't need to print. If the flag was 0, we will print that number. And then again this whole loop will start for the next number. Okay, got it?
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, in second for loop, instead of 2 comma I, we can use 2 comma I by 2 plus 1, no sir. Because because when we divide something, if we divide it till sir, if we are finding out whether 12 is prime or not, if we divide it till 6, it would be enough. Because
Yes, yes, exactly. Very, very fine. In that case, you see, both the results will be same, but in that case, in your case, your program will be a bit more efficient and less time consuming. So we can write it as by 2 uh, plus 1, right? It is,
yes, sir.
it is very, very correct. Good. Okay. So even in this case, we will get the same results. Okay, sorry, it should be, yes, here one thing we will have to do, we will have to convert it into integer first, because sometimes it will have this issue, no? I can write here. Okay. So we will have to convert this into integer. Otherwise, it will show an error to us. Let's
We can
try
put double slash also, sir.
double slash, yes, double slash also will make it as integer. Yes, we can, that is also integer division. You might have seen even sir use this double slash in one of the programs, right?
Correct, sir.
Yeah. Still, we are getting the same values, just our program will be a bit faster, and that fastness is actually advantageous. This is something that should be appreciated. Very good. Okay, so let's go to our next question. Okay, so this is one, and what Mridula have suggested, we can put it as I divided by 2 plus 1 here. Okay, so this will make our program a bit efficient, though it will be same. Okay, so let's go to next question. So now we are trying to make a code to replace all the letters of movie name except dash and white space. So if there is a space or something, so ideally if there is a character, we have to replace it with a star mark. Okay, with star in a single line. Okay, clear? So I have taken a list like this. Okay, and we just have to check if it is not equal dash or a space. Okay, we have to replace it with a star mark. That's all. Though it looks like something very, very tough, but it is very, very easy. Okay.
Sir,
So
use
yeah,
the replace function.
yeah. What you are saying, Guru? Hello, I am not able to get you. Yes.
Sir, use the replace function of trying
Yes.
to replace white.
Yes. It is trying. It is trying to replace. Okay. Okay. It is trying to replace that. Okay. So let's see something here using this ASCII letters. Why? So that I can match it with this. Okay. A, B, C, till Z, then capitals, and then you see here the plus symbol is not used to add something, it is used to, okay, it is used to concatenate two strings. Okay, this whole string and this one. So it is taking a movie at random from this one, and then for I am just writing character, short form of character, ch in movie, if character in sc. Sc means our this string, this whole, if this value is in this, then we will write star, else we will just write nothing, like nothing will return, like not relevant, sorry, that character itself, that is a space or a dash. Okay, and then we will put nothing after it, and equals to nothing. This we have already discussed earlier, right? What is this? Can anyone tell? Anyone remember what it is? Yes, Guru. Anyone remembers what was the function of this?
Prints in single line.
Print in single line, or just to change what should be printed at the end of that statement. Okay. So here, since we are writing one by one characters, we don't want it to be written in different lines. Okay, we want it to be written in one single line. Okay, that is why we are doing this. Let's check. Guru, there is a lot of noise. Yes, yes.
Sir, the question is to replace the string by the star, or just to print the star for the character, other than the special character.
Yeah, other than special character, we have to print, like if we have some characters, like some, you can say some letters or numbers, we have to replace it with star, like we generally do for passwords, right?
Sir, this time, that is to replace the string itself, storing the star inside the string, or just for printing purpose.
Yeah, just for printing purpose. It is not changing the actual value. It is just displaying that. Okay. It is not changing anything. It is something like we are hiding or masking it. Okay. You see here, you can guess a dash was there, so it must be Spider-Man, right? If we run, since it is taking some random values, okay, so it will take random numbers from there, like alien isolation. If it takes, it prints it like this. Okay, so we already know what is there in the list, in this list, so we are able to guess. It may be Harry Potter or maybe alien isolation. There can be confusion, and if we don't know the list, it will become even more difficult. So to hide something, you can do this. Okay, like we generally do in case of passwords, right? So let's move on to our...
Choose any number in list, sir.
Yes, what you are saying?
It choose any number in list.
Any number in list. I am not able to get.
Any character, any string in list.
Can you explain your question? Like, I am not able to get what you are asking.
Yeah, like it choose any string in list, like a Spider-Man, alien.
Yeah. Yes, it is taking any this list from this list. No, it is taking, since we are using this random.choice. Remember, we used this in some previous programs also. So it is taking something randomly from here. We to demonstrate you, we are taking some random things from here. But in real life situations, you might need to do some do such operations on some specific values. Okay. So just to demonstrate you, we are going for random, and this random is very good. Yes. Repeat 6 line. Okay.
Sir, excuse me, sir. So what does this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mean? After string dot
suppose there are some movie names, like there is some movie name, like you might have heard some names like which have second version, like Asiki 2 is there. I forgot this 2. Okay, so in this case 2 is also part of the name, right? There are some movies like having two, 3 different versions. Okay, so we along with this A, B, C, D. Okay, along with this, we are also putting numbers here. If some numbers come, that also have to be replaced with a star. Okay, for that purpose we are using it. And we have already discussed from the string library, this ASCII underscore letters, what it does, it gives us A, B, C, D till Z in small letters, then followed by capital letters A, B, C, D till Z. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you explain difference between string and random?
Difference between random and
String
string.
and random.
See, they are two different libraries. Okay. The difference is this ASCII underscore letters is from the string library. Okay. And this random dot choice, like this choice is from the random library. As I started today only, that since we cannot put all the commands in the Python's general library, like we cannot have everything inside Python. Like whenever we run a program, everything available is run with Python. That will make it very, very heavy as well as very difficult to handle. A small code will also be very heavy. That is why we keep only the basic things in the general Python, and we go for complex things like complex or uncommon things in the specific library. Like things related to string are kept in string library, but basic things like str and like adding some concatenating and different things, these are in general libraries, but some specific things like ASCII letters or many different things are kept in different libraries. So whenever you try you want to use that, you take that library. Okay, it is like you don't have the whole library at home, right? You have some basic books at home, and if you want to use some specific like special books or reference books, you go to library, borrow it for some time and keep it back. Like that we use library. So string is used for some specific functions, okay, like letters and those, and random is used for where we need to generate some random thing. Okay, got it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let's move to our next question. What will be the output of the following code? It is, see, friends, I squared to, we have
of even numbers.
square of even numbers. Okay, good. So if you see here, what has been done is that this whole thing has been kept in one single line. Okay, this is also a way we can do that. This value will be kept for I in range, this whole thing. Okay, if I is divisible by 2, it will be squared by 2. Okay, so here it is run from here, it will start here, it will check here, and then it will execute here. Center goes to right and then goes to left. Okay, so such things can be written. So it will be list of square of even numbers. Okay, now this question is code to calculate the sum of the series. Like if I am putting 3, it should start with 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. If I am putting 4, it should be 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Right? Do anyone have idea what we can do here? Can anyone think?
Sir, we should have 2 lists.
Yes, say.
The first loop would
Yeah,
start.
yes, Sandeep, Sandeepak, I will explain. Wait. Yeah, yes, Guru, please continue.
Sir, first you have to get what is the value of n. Sir.
1.
First loop n. So we have n terms. Number of
Yes.
terms.
So we will first take an input. Okay, input, and okay, fine, and then
So we should have a loop starting from 1 to n.
hmm.
That is range of 1 to n plus 1.
So ideally there will be two loops. Okay.
Yes. First loop from 1 to n and second loop should depend on the first loop.
Yes.
The
So
third loop should outer loop.
1 to n and then 1 to the, that number itself. Yeah, that I or j, whatever we are doing. So I have created this like this. You can try some other things also. Okay, we are taking an input and we are keeping the total at 0 for first time and we are adding onto it. Okay, so from 1 to number plus 1. Okay, then for j in range I 1 to I plus 1, right? So, and then we are totaling. Even we can put it like total is equal to total plus equals to j. This will also work. Okay, and then we are printing the total. Let's see how it looks like. Is it clear in this case? Which number should I put? Let's start with some smaller numbers. Like let's put some numbers which we already know. 3. So it should be 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. So it should be 1 plus 3 plus 6. So it will be 4 plus 6, that is 10. Okay. Now let's try some more numbers. So if we put 4, it will be 24, I think. 10. Let's try this. Fine. Okay. So this is working fine. Now let's come to our next question. That is, here is something called as perfect number. Perfect number is different from perfect square. Okay. Perfect number is where the sum of its divisors, like in case 6. Okay. So 6 is divisible by 1, 2 and 3. Okay. The sum of this is equal to the number itself, 1 plus 2 plus 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay. And is equal to the number itself. Okay. Such numbers are called as perfect numbers. So what will be the way to do this?
So it is similar to finding a prime number, sir. We have to find the exact divisors of a number and then we have to add those values.
Yes. So in that case, whenever we were finding some other factors, we were directly saying it is complete number, but in this case we will store it and add it to our total, right? So I have created a function, right? So we are taking the sum at 0 at first for I in range. Okay. So we are dividing it. If it is divisible, we are adding. In that case, if it was divisible, we are stopping. Okay. And if at last they are equal, like answer and the number is equal, we are returning true, and otherwise false. True means it's perfect number, or in this case not perfect. Okay. Let's check. I have even created the input part where we will be asking for an input below. Okay. Let's run. Do anyone knows other perfect numbers apart from 6? Let's put 6 for first time. The perfect number. Okay. Let's try 4. Not a perfect number. Let's search for some more perfect numbers. See, there are only 2 perfect numbers, 6 and 28. Let's try 28 also. See, it is working fine. For any other number, if we are putting, it is saying as not a perfect number. Okay, we can go for any amount of numbers. I think 126 is also a perfect number.
496.
Yeah. 496 and 8128. We can try that also. It's working fine for us, right? So, yes, someone was asking a question. Let me check. Yes, Sai Deepak, how it excludes from middle. Okay, let's check. You were asking about this question number 9, I think. Not 9, 8. Yes, Sai Deepak, are you there? Hello? Sai Deepak, are you there? Okay, anyway, I will explain it. What it is doing is that actually this whole statement is combination of 3 different statements. It is something like that. For I in range 1, 10, if I double equals to 0, print two. Okay, so ideally this single statement is combination of these all statements, but what we have to do is that we have to print this. Okay, so this is our final output. Okay, so in the print we are putting the final output at first, what we have to print actually, but when we have to print, that part we are putting followed by it. Okay, for I in range 1, 10, if I is divisible by 2, print this one, otherwise don't print it. Okay, and this for loop is running every time. So that is why it is, though it looks like why is it starting from here, but it is something like the syntax itself is the final output, because print actually just displays it. So print is showing the final output. In that we are giving the final output at first. So is it clear? Yes. Okay. So any other questions?
Sir, can you please show leap year program, sir? I have small doubt.
Okay, I will show. Question number, do you remember? Question 1. Question 1 or 2. I think. Yeah, question 2. Yes, please. Yes.
Sir, in the second line, in the inside the condition, it should instead of or we should have and, no, sir.
Okay. See, if we put and, then what will be the issue?
Sir, for leap year, the logic is it should be divisible by both 4 and 100, no, sir.
No, because see, wait.
If you put and, it should be divisible by 400 into 4. 1600.
Yeah, 200. 2020 was a leap year,
Yes,
right?
sir.
But is it divisible by 400?
No, sir.
It is not divisible by 400. Okay. So
Sir,
we have,
then we should first condition is okay. Year divide and if it's exactly divisible by 400, or in the second condition, it should. Sir,
actually,
I got
yes.
confused.
You are going fine. Yes, I also agree with you that what we should do is that we should put another if here, right? One, yes, if it is divisible by 4 and it is divisible, we should write if it is divisible by 4, okay, okay, and it is not divisible by 100, okay, then we can write it is a leap year, right? And in case it is divisible by 100, we should go for division by 400 also, right? We can modify this program. Yes, you are right. We can go for some modifications. This might give some wrong results also. We will have to check, right? You are correct. Fine.
Sir, can you repeat it again, sir? The condition.
Yeah. See, what we can do in this case is that we can start with, let me do it on a blank page. Now, we have two conditions. First one is, first we are going to check if it is a century year or not. Okay. So first we will check year by 100 is equal to 0. If yes, then what we should do? Then we should go for if year is divisible by 400, then we should write leap year, right? Is it correct? Okay. Else, if it is not a century year, then we can directly go if, not else, we should write elif, right? Else if year is divisible by 4, it is a leap year, right?
Yes, sir. Fine.
Else it should be not leap. Okay, and we can make it a bit shorter by combining these two. Okay, how we can combine these two? We can directly write year by 100 is equal to 0 and year by 400 is also equal to 0. Is it fine now? I think this will work perfectly. Hello?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can try this, and even still there is a problem, you can say it again in next class, or you can just post it as a comment on the video. I think it will be posted on YouTube. Yeah, there you can post it as a comment. I will check and answer if there is an issue.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So anyone is having any other questions?
Or can you explain about first question?
First question. Okay. Question 1. Yeah. So what will be the output of this code? Okay. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
So output of the code, that is, first what we are doing, we are forget about these two. Okay. If you are confused with these two, forget about this. Why? Because this is according to our need. Whenever we use some specific thing, we use that. Okay. So we will come to this later. First, what we need is that here it is saying ASCII letters. Okay. ASCII letters are A, B, C, D till Z, then A, B, C till capital Z. Fine. So to get all these letters, we are going to use the word ASCII letters. But if you put it directly, the keyword, it will give you an error. So from where we have to import it, we are going to say, let's load the library string. Okay. So we are using the library string. So this library string will enable this ASCII letters function to work. Fine. The next thing will be, we are going for n equals to int input. So we are asking an input from user input, and then we are converting it to an integer. We are typecasting. The exact word of this conversion is called typecasting. Okay, we are typecasting and storing it in a variable n. Okay. Now for I in range n. So it will, what will this do when we are putting range n? It is starting from 0 and going till n minus 1. Okay. The value of I is first 0, 1, 2, 3 till n minus 1. We are taking a list L equals an empty. So every time the value of I, we are taking an empty list. So even if something was there, it is being removed and an empty list is being put there. For j in range n, so, and in this case, one more loop is run, starting from 0 till n minus 1. Is it clear till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So L dot append random dot choice A. So what it is doing, every time it is appending some value from A to Z, small letters or capital letters. It is just taking one from there, and since taking a random value from here, we need this choice function, which is not available in our general library. We go for something called as random library. Okay. This random library, what it does, it enables the choice function. Choice function is not available in our general library. And in case you want to know more about libraries, there are like the Python's help and library is quite extensive. You can see that. Okay. Python help and Python community itself is quite extensive. You will find a lot of things there. Every library is well explained there. What are the functions inside each and every library? It is explained there. Okay. So it is putting there. So what it is doing, in one row it is putting that many numbers. Starting from, like suppose we are putting 5, we are going from 0 till 4. That means 5 elements. So it is taking 5 elements, putting it line by line. And then we are now taking this whole list. Suppose this L have got A, C, D, E, F now. Okay. Now we are taking it, commas will be there, right? And one by one we are printing with some spaces. This \t is to create some space. Okay. So print element and equals to 1. And then we are printing a empty line. Empty line will create new line. So we are printing like A, C, D, E, F, and then moving the cursor to next line. Then this whole process will be repeated again, because it is this print also is inside the loop. So another loop, it will go for another loop, and there it will start for the next number, next column. See this line number. So in a sense, this line this line number 8 is for row, not row, sorry, columns. Rows and
For row and J is for column.
Yeah, J is for columns. Okay, J is for the column. So because inside it we are generating the elements. So the columns will be generated using the J, and I is for the row. Okay, so are you clear with it?
Yes, sir. But random the choice means it will select any of the alphabets in that ASCII value, sir.
Yeah, from this A, not ASCII value, this A. Wait, let me check. This A you are seeing?
Yeah, from that A.
From A. We can go for different functions. In fact, you could have created a list. Like in some other case, we saw that there was a list of values. It was taking from there, and you should see this is a very useful function, random. You should not function, library. You just search for random library in Python on Google. You will find the first result itself will give that the original Python's library. It will explain each and every function. Like all keywords are explained one by one. What is the function of it? And it has some very interesting functions.
So instead of string.ascii values, shall we keep ORD?
Yeah, you can give anything.
ASCII values.
You can give any. In fact, you can write directly A to Z there in quotes. Still, it will work.
So then no need of write import string, right, sir?
Yeah, for that, no need of writing that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I think that's all for today. Okay. See you all in the next class. Okay. Bye bye.